In 2011, the United Nations Food Security Unit released a statement saying that 4 million people in Somalia are in crisis. 750,000 of them were in immediate risk of death. Somalia had not seen a drought like this in over 60 years.
This chart shows us the climate change predictions released by the IPCC for much of northern and eastern Africa. The redder the area, the more severe the temperature increase. As we can see, Ethiopia, Somalia, and northern Kenya are in the 1.8 to 3.5 degrees Celsius temperature increase range. For an area that is already very, very dry, this is an extreme temperature increase. And droughts like this are going to get more and more common.
Why is it that this is happening? Why are global temperatures rising? Why are ocean levels rising? And why are ice caps melting? This is because of fossil fuels and our addiction to them. No one will deny that we're addicted to fossil fuels. And that's where the Drive for Alternative has stemmed from. It is a reaction to our addiction to fossil fuels and can be seen all over the developed world. There has been a large amount of investment in wind turbines and solar panels all across the developed world. Here are some charts that show where most of the investment in alternative energy went across the world. As you can see, the United States and Europe have by far the most investment, yet Middle East, Africa, India, and other developing nations are far behind. The investment is much, much lower, and they're far neglected.
So who are we neglecting here? Who are we forgetting? We argue that it is the BOP. We're forgetting that 2 billion people on the planet are still using non-conventional, primitive energy sources like fodder and firewood. 89% of sub-Saharan Africa depends on firewood for their energy needs. What does this imply? Well, women have to go out and collect firewood, leading to more deforestation. Cooking with firewood inside the house results in indoor pollution and causes diseases, and children cannot study at night.
Who will be their savior? Who will be their hero? Will it be coal? Will it be the fossil fuels that we have been using?
How about solar?
What about wind?
I think hydroelectricity.
Maybe not. It might be an unlikely hero.
Cows?
Biogas.
This is a simple image of how biogas will be produced in the developing world. Much of the developing world can be home to simple biogas plants like this one, where we have a household and we have some cattle. Basically, the biogas generator is used to ferment a mixture of human sewage and cattle manure that can then give off biogas. This biogas can be used for cooking and heating. The remains of the biogas slurry in the generator can then be taken out and used as organic fertilizer.
This biogas is no different from natural gas, which is what's driving our economy in the US right now. So why do we think that biogas is a good idea for the BOP? Why is it a good idea for the 2 billion neglected people that are out there? Well, it's because it's $1 billion idea. There is a lot of potential and a lot of money that can be made of biogas. The 3 major impact areas of biogas are energy, health, and fertilizer. In terms of energy, biogas has the potential to revolutionize energy services and provision in rural areas. Biogas plants can be installed in as little as $150, and all it takes is 1 to 2 cows to run the biogas plant. In fact, most African applications A household biogas installation provides sufficient energy for cooking and lighting. On the aggregate level, we can look at India as an example. There alone, 300 million cattle have the potential to produce 2.5 quadrillion BTUs of heat per year. That is 2.5 thousand trillion BTUs of heat. That is more than 10% of the total energy consumption in India per year. Looking at another aspect, health. Various sources indicate that around 2 million people die prematurely of diseases related to indoor pollution. This number is heavily biased towards women and children, sadly, who spend more time indoors. Over 500,000 people die of such diseases in India alone. By eliminating indoor pollution, biogas would save hundreds of thousands of lives, all across the world in developing nations. Yet another aspect is fertilizer. The slurry that's left over from biogas plants has the potential to be used as rich fertilizer in farms across the country that's using the biogas. Cattle in India, for example, could alone produce 127 million kilograms of dry fertilizer per year, worth $1 billion.
So now that we have looked at some of the impact areas of biogas, let us move back to Africa. As drought gripped Somalia, neighboring Eritrea seemed to have found a temporary savior, biogas. In some areas of Eritrea, there have been pilot biogas projects where biogas has been installed in households. And here we see a quote from an Eritrean farmer who had a biogas plant installed. Biogas has not only given us cooking gas, but it is also giving us more food thanks to the well-fertilized horticulture plot. And more importantly, it is giving us light. So we think that what we have seen in this presentation today is just the tip of the mountain. The point of this TED Talk was not to have a technical run-through about the possibilities that biogas presents. It was more an ideas-oriented talk where we wanted to show you the amazing untapped potential that biogas holds. We think that using biogas would help the developing world educate its children. Using biogas would mean saving firewood and avoiding deforestation. Using biogas would mean saving hundreds of thousands of lives every year. Using biogas would mean cutting down on greenhouse emissions.
Biogas saved the people in Eritrea. We believe that biogas is the hero we need.
Thank you.